Well, the anticipation is building for the reopening of the Fargo Theatre downtown.
Certainly is. The $2.6 million facelift is nearly complete. One of the theater's signature pieces, of course, is about to wow those who come to see the renovation. The mighty Wurlitzer organ has a new look and a sound. Reporter Kevin Wallivan got a sneak preview today.
No renovation or restoration would be complete at the theater without the sight of the mighty Wurlitzer rising from the belly of the Fargo. Today, organist Lance Johnson proudly showed off the shiny new black console. 4 keyboards instead of 3. A computerized switching system instead of compressed air, and a new unique sound that you can only find at the Fargo.
And the organ had outgrown the console, and so we found that it'd be better just to start from scratch and build a new console where we have many more stops. We have 239 stops here, and the old organ had 130. That gives us much more variety and more fun to play, of course.
The console is a replica of the Wurlitzer at Radio City Music Hall in New York. The chambers are housed high in the corners of the Fargo Theater behind the new Art Deco neon fountains. The chambers house dozens of horns, drums, the sounds you hear sitting in your seat. This is the Fargo Theater of the 1930s.
One of the things we're very, very concerned about is to restore the theater to its 1937 Art Moderne or Art Deco look. In order to do that, we had to have the original drawings from Liebenberg, which we got, and then the architect simply adapted those and based them on what we have today, so that we have really a very authentically restored movie theater.
In a few days, some of the best theater organists will sit down and play the mighty Wurlitzer here at the Fargo. They will accompany silent movies as they did in the late 20s. A simpler time, and you can almost see the vaudeville teams dance.
I mean, it's just like piloting a big airliner. It's even more mighty now than it was before.
Oh, that's going to be great.
That is so exciting. Even more mighty than it was before.
Yeah.
Great line.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Let's give a big hand to Dave Knutson at the console of the mighty Wurlitzer Theater pipe organ. Good evening. My name is Doug Hamilton, and I'm very proud to be with you tonight for this very special night at the Fargo Theatre in downtown Fargo. We got a little early start tonight because we've got a surprise heading our way at the speed of an automobile. We have Ruth Landfield outside right now on the curb, and we wanted to make sure you made note of that because in just a moment she's going to come through those doors, and we want to give her the kind of welcome that I know you're raring to do. As you know, or maybe you don't know, this is the 30th anniversary of the Lake Agassiz Arts Council, and we are really here to celebrate the magic that those 3 decades have wrought upon our community. Because all of the arts organizations that are linked together and assisted by the Lake Agassiz Arts Council have done an awful lot to make this a better place to live. We've got many great performances tonight, sort of a little taste of a number of great acts in this town. The symphony, the opera, the community theater, Trollwood Theater, and the Carousel Dancers. And of course, we have the Fargo Theater. Prairie Public TV will make an appearance and a special guest there, and the Plains Art Museum. So There's a rich resource of wonderful arts programming available in this community, and a lot of it's been made possible by philanthropists like Ruth Landfield and by many of you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fargo Moorhead Symphony Orchestra Woodwind Quintet.
The Fargo Theater represents not only history, and I'm a big believer in history and in preserving history, but it represents an era in which the arts flourished in this community.
And so here we are 75 years later. We will celebrate our 75th birthday on March 15th, 2001. This fabulous historic facility opened its doors on March 15th, 1926. If only these walls could talk. They would tell us that on this stage has been Tom Mix along with his horse, not to mention Lillian Gish and Colleen Moore, who have been here on stage as well as on screen. The walls would also talk about the mighty Wurlitzer and the sounds that have filled this fabulous facility for 75 years. They tell us about the 1940s and all of the vaudeville shows that came through here. They would tell us about the Merry Widow. They would tell us about Arsenic and Old Lace, all of the fabulous actors on this stage here at the Fargo Theater. They tell us about the 50s and the 60s that brought all of the great films here. They tell us about the 70s when we revitalized the sounds of the mighty Wurlitzer. They tell us about the 80s when we were in transition, I guess is the way to put it. And then they tell us about the 90s. When we decided that we wanted to return to our roots. We restored this facility. We restored the lobby area to that Art Moderne, beautiful Art Deco style. And then finally, we restored the entire facility, and that's where we are today.